Yup. Now back to chapter 7 on cost of sales and other expenses. So the question we're going to do today is workbook page 79, question 7. Stylone Professional rents a shop to provide hairstyling services. Rental expenses paid by check during the year was 60,000. Okay, so paid by check 60,000. So definitely going to credit the bank 60,000 here, right? For the year ended 31st December, so you're looking at 31st December, year end, beginning of year. This is the financial period, following year's financial period. Remember the concept of revenue is same. And 12,000 of the amount paid was for rental in 2000 X3. What? That means 12,000 is for this year. So this year will be 60,000 minus this 12,000. So actually when you credit the bank of 60,000, 12,000 is for next year. Right? So what is the rental incurred for the year ended this financial year? So you know your expenses is supposed to be 48,000 this year. So you have over credit. So this 12,000 becomes an asset. There, this is the double entry. Debit the full year's expenses for 8,000, then prepaid expenses 12,000. So the following year when you debit the correct asset class, debit the expenses, and you clear off your prepaid expenses. These two. Okay? So this is a scenario where expenses becomes an asset because you pay in advance or you pay too much in advance. In this case, the 12,000 you paid too much. Right. So this is the scenario. So scenario 2, when expenses become liability. This one is page 77 for the workbook exercise 2, question 1. Okay, question asks, Cochin Construction pays accident insurance for its staff in the year ended 31st December. Okay, so information given 31st December year. So this is the financial year, following financial year. They paid 30,000 for insurance expenses. Okay, they paid 30,000 for insurance expenses. Okay, so 30,000. This out from the bank. If 3,000 was recorded as insurance payable for the current year, 3,000 insurance payable. Okay, so you have 3,000 as insurance payable down here. How much did Cochin Construction incur as insurance expense for the year ended? So despite paying the 30,000, you still owe 3,000. That means you have a total credit of 33,000, right? So that means your total expenses for insurance for the year should be this. 2 credits together, 33,000. That is your expenses for insurance, the total. So when the following year comes, your expenses, you credit it, you have to debit back the expenses, 3,000. When your bank pays that, the 3,000 out to clear off this. Right? Clear off these two accounts. And in this case, paying too little becomes a liability. So, can you see the scenario? The scenario is you pay too little. And this one, the scenario is you pay too much. Become the asset. So, what is the concept? As usual, in your statement of financial position, you pay too much. Yeah, I put the words there. Okay, you pay too much, it becomes prepaid expenses, right? Okay, you pay too much, prepaid expenses. Okay, and then when you pay too little, it becomes a liability. But both also debit your expenses. Okay, so that's about it, the concept for expenses, when is a liability and when is an asset. Okay, so it is very easy to remember these two concepts. Let's go back to chapter 6, revenue. Same concept. Okay, let's widen the screen. Same concept like this. When you receive too little, it becomes an asset. When you receive too much, it becomes a liability. That is for revenue, chapter 6. For chapter 7, you paid too much, it becomes an asset. You paid too little, it becomes a liability. Alright?